Welcome back to Celeboro TV. Today we're going to be installing the BUNG KING passenger pegs / rear crash protection for Achilles, our 2019 Harley Davidson Street Bob. Let me show you what the BUNG KING comes with, and we'll get to the install and then maybe take the bike for a rip. So you can see the BUNG KING passenger pegs / crash bars for the back of the bike come pretty simply packaged, just straight business. The 2 pegs, the 2 bars, and then the bag of hardware. Just by looking at it here in the package, I can tell you what, it looks way sturdier and way thicker metal than what it looked like on pictures when I ordered it. So I have no doubt that this will protect the bike big time. We have our exhaust side, our right side of the bike peg right here, the left side of the bike, the primary side, and then we have 6 bolts, 4 the same length, and then 2 longer ones, 4 washers, and a thicker washer here, a spacer, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be for the right side, the exhaust side. So let's get to it, and hopefully we don't have to encounter any issues here. Right, so first we have to remove the stock passenger pegs so we can install the BUNG KING. So we're gonna use this right here and move this clip out of the way so we can get this stud out of the way, get this out, and then we can get to the bolt that's in here that holds the base of the peg to the frame. Now I don't have a socket with one of these keys that's long enough to reach all the way in there to where the bolt is. So we're gonna use this Allen key, and I'll just use this in the back for leverage. So we're obviously here on the left side, so this is where the passenger stock peg used to be mounted to. So now with this one, this is going to be higher around this swing arm bolt right here. So the bottom bolt is going to go there, and then the top one is going to go here. So we have to remove this plastic cover here that's on that bolt hole. So we're going to use this just to pry the plastic out, and then this so we can turn it out. So we have the access to this one here, just like here for the new bolt. So here are the new bolts that came with the BUNG KING, with a washer and some Loctite. So let's put this side on. Alright, so now we're on the right side, on the exhaust side. Now remember, depending on the exhaust system and the bracket that you have on this side, this will vary a bit for you guys. So I have here on Achilles a BASSANI Road Rage. So it looks like I'm going to have to remove the heat shield, to remove the back of the exhaust here, so that I can remove the bracket that came with BASSANI, so that we can install the BUNG KING on the top and bottom there, and then probably use a spacer down here, I believe, and we'll figure that out as we go. But just food for thought there. Depending on your exhaust system, this side may vary for you guys. Alright, so once I remove the bracket for the exhaust here, for this specific bracket and exhaust for the BASSANI Road Rage, I used one of the shorter bolts with a washer from BUNG KING that came with the kit on the top, and it seems like I'm going to use one of the long ones on the bottom because this bracket for the exhaust, when we put it back in place, it takes a little more space out this way, so I'm going to use this one to have more thread in there, and then we're going to use one of the other long one on the bottom with this spacer that came with the kit underneath it. Alright fam, so as you can see, the BASSANI is back on, the BUNG KING is on, and the BASSANI bracket is over the BUNG KING. So there's a little cutout corner here on the BUNG KING that falls in almost perfectly aligned with this part here where the other stock peg used to go onto the BASSANI bracket. So it's almost, if you have a BASSANI Road Rage with the BASSANI bracket like I do, it's pretty much just plug and play. I know other exhausts have some other issues that they have to modify some metals and stuff like that to get the fitment right. With this one, it worked out just fine. One thing that I would suggest you have ahead of time that I was short on, and I'll show you what that is here in just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and put the heat shield on the BASSANI back on, and we'll be done with the install. I'll show you what that is here in just a second. Alright, so the heat shield is back on, the BASSANI is cleaned again. Let me show you what that was that I was referring to. So the BUNG KING came with 4 washers like I showed you guys at the beginning. In this specific setup that I have here, I ended up 1 washer short from this one here. So on the top one, it has a washer just like the 2 on the other side, on the left side. But then I would have needed 3 washers on this side. So I used one on the top, and I use one on the bottom here, on the bottom of the bracket that came with the BASSANI. That's where the spacer that came with the BUNG KING is in the back. So I use a washer down there, obviously with Loctite. And then on this one here, I just use the Loctite for now. So if you guys are gonna be using the BUNG KING kit here like me, and you have the same BASSANI Road Rage setup with the same bracket and all that, you might want to get one of those washers before you start the job. If you want to have all 5 washers you will need instead of the 4 that came with the kit. So I say we take the bike out for a ride and check out these BUNG KING's crash bars in the back here on the outside. Alright, so we are going to take a ride to this place that I put on the bottom of the screen here. I think it's called the Richter Bakhaus or something like that. I saw this place on Instagram, and they have this giant Texas-sized cinnamon rolls. They seem amazing. So we're going to take a ride there. The ride's going to be about 40 minutes for me, just a couple minutes for you guys, and I'll show you these amazing cinnamon rolls. We'll pick up probably a couple of them, hoping that they fit in the saddlebags here in the Leather Pros, and then we'll bring them back and enjoy those with the fam. This was particularly a very windy day. It was pretty sunny in San Antonio, and then once we got closer to Boerne, Texas, It started getting very cloudy. I thought the water was gonna come down on me before we even made it there, but it was a great ride. And having the 15-inch windscreen from Memphis Shades back on the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing helped a whole bunch. So here's Boerne, Texas, and we'll be arriving here at the bakery in just a couple seconds. I'll show you guys a little bit of what they have inside here in just a sec. As you guys will see here in just a sec, they have all their stuff than just the cinnamon rolls, and that one big thing there in the middle is the cinnamon roll that I came to pick up. So we'll put one cinnamon roll in this side of the bike on this Leather Pro, and we'll put the part that opens to the top so it doesn't spill on the way back home. Fingers crossed. And then we'll put the other one on the other side, and we'll keep the frosting or the sugar glaze, whatever you call this, on this bag, and we'll close the bag. If you have the cinnamon rolls here, they'll obviously reheat it for you and give it to you freshly out of the oven with the glaze on top and all that. I told them that I was obviously taking her on the road, so she wrote some directions of the correct temperature and time to throw them in the oven for a few minutes when I got home, and then they give you the glaze for you to do that on your own since you're taking it to go. And yes, these cinnamon rolls were amazing, so highly recommend it. Now let's hit the road, head back home. We got 2 of these giant cinnamon rolls, and they were definitely big enough to share with the family. We cut them in half, and it was definitely plenty for us. Now, as you can see, we already have some T-bars on Achilles. These are built well, and they come up to just about 13 inches to the height of the grip. So we do have, I believe, the bars that I have picked for this bike for the near future. It's gonna be a different company and a little taller, and I think we'll do something with these mirrors once again. But before that, I'll show you here one last mod for this video. And we also received the Hoffman Designs Vented Moto X gas cap for Achilles from Get Lower Cycles. Ooh-wee! That looks nice. Simple things that add up little by little. That's gonna look nice while we're riding Achilles.